Well, welcome again, race fans. Welcome to another track review. Today we're going to take a look at Scalextric's James Bond Quantum of Solace racetrack. Saw this on eBay and I couldn't resist. I mean, just looking at the auction, I could hear this music playing in the back of my head, and I just said I had to have it. So we'll get into this. We'll take a look at the back of the box and a few other things and shake it out. It's supposed to be a brand new set. I haven't opened it yet, and we'll all find out together. But maybe it's too cool for school, but you know, it's James Bond. What do you want? Alright, here's the back of the set. It gives you the basic layout of the track. Gives us two cars right here, and tells us the amount of space that we'll need to set that up. Okay, here is the set taken out of the box, and it does indeed look like it's new. There's still tape on these different things. The instruction sheet, we'll open that up here. Power supply, control cables, all the track pieces, and I'm guessing these are probably the cars. Yep, there's one of the cars, and there's the other car. So indeed the set was in new condition, and we will get it set up and running and see how this thing does. Alright, we got the track set up. Initially, putting the track pieces together, they're a little problematic. They're a little balky trying to get all these joints together. They don't go together very well, in my opinion. Certainly not as good as the Lifelike or the Tomy. They tend to stay together a little bit better than the Tomy, but they're just not good solid connections in my opinion. The other thing, being that the set was an English set, the power supply that came with it is an English plug power supply. They also have a male connector that goes into the track, which is actually kind of a nice arrangement, but our trusty power hack came to the rescue on that, since it does have adaptable plugs on that, so the track does run. Another thing that they do is nice, they give you a lot of cord on the controllers here. There's plenty of cord, about twice as much as what the American sets give you, so that's kind of a nice feature. I did test run the cars a little bit, and the factory tires are not very good, so I went on ahead and put on a set of Super Tires A for the demonstration. Another problem, the set right in here, this hairpin, in my opinion, is not a very good track feature. It doesn't make any difference what set of tires you have on the car. Any car going through that inside hairpin has a problem. You almost can't get off the throttle enough to get through it, so you flop off. But we'll get going here and run some laps. Alright, let's just wrap it up here. So on average, I think compared to, you know, a Tomy set, it's, you know, comparable in a lot of ways. It has positives and negatives. Here again, just like any of the set tracks, the rear tires are lacking. In order to get it to run good, you got to drop them down and get a better compound. So the Super Tires A for Lifelike was what we fitted onto the cars. The cars themselves are interesting bodies. The chase car is an Alpha, and of course the Aston Martin is James Bond's vehicle. They're hard to see. They're black. They're very hard to see running around on the track. I know that it would be difficult to keep the realism on the box art if the cars are painted red or bright green or something like that. But if the track was molded out of gray or something like that, I think it'd be easier to see the cars. It's very difficult to see them. The track doesn't have a lap counter. The hairpin turn, I think, is not a very good feature. It's very difficult to drive through it even with the best of setups on the car. And then of course in the eBay ad they didn't bother to say that it had an English power supply, so we had to adapt that. But we did get it to work, and like I say, on average I think it's an okay set, except for maybe one piece of track feature in the rear tires. So there you go, Quantum of Solace, James Bond.